We are live on Yonkers Voice, and today, guys, it's a surprise interview about an issue that Kristen and I take to heart, and so does the majority leader, Tasha Diaz. We are going to talk about animal rights, and we are going to talk about what needs to be done. We are going to talk about the things that you need to be doing, because this is something that we all care about, at least the majority of us. But the majority of us don't do all the things that we're supposed to do, with the exception of a few people like Kristen. So, Tasha, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Kristen, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about today about the things that you think it's a priority, that you think needs to be done, and then we're going to hear from the majority leader the things that have been done. The laws that you have sponsored, that you have passed, so everyone out there understand exactly this complexity and what we need to do. So,
Yep.
Go ahead.
So the first thing that people need to do, number one, first and foremost, is to stop abandoning cats and kittens. I can't stress this enough. I find sometimes people have their hearts in the right place. They see an abandoned cat or kitten, they take it in, they realize it's not spayed or neutered. The cat starts to spay if it's a male. If it's a female, the cat gets pregnant, and then all of a sudden, boom, the cat's outside. Please remember, when you take in an animal, it is just like a child. It is for life. Adoption is for life. If you're having a hard time finding services for low-cost spay-neuter, we don't have anything right now here in Yonkers, but I can certainly direct you to places around our area that are not too far. I tell people there's the low-cost spay-neuter clinic in Queens. It's about, if you take a cab, it's probably maybe $60 cab ride, but it's a lot better than a $700 vet bill. So feel free to contact me, Kristen, at the Yonkers Low-Cost Spay-Neuter Initiative. I've been advocating and working toward a low-cost spay-neuter clinic for us. But that's the first step right there, is for everybody to please remember, when you take in an animal, it is for life. Please don't throw your animals out. They feel everything that you feel. If you take in that animal, they feel safety, they feel love. If you abandon it, they feel frightened, they feel scared. They're subjected to abuse from people that are not nice toward animals. And this can cause a great deal of trauma toward an innocent life that doesn't have to happen. Secondly, if you don't like animals, don't bother with them. You don't have to bother with them. You can tell your neighbor or somebody, hey, listen, I have a stray cat. I don't like cats. What can we do? But let's try to work together and help each other and help these animals. That's why we're here on this earth. It's not to, for me, it's not to fight, it's not to abuse, it's not to harm, it's to help each other in times of need, and that includes animals. When we say and talk about ending abuse and ending violence, we must also always include animals, because a lot of times that's where it starts.
And before we go much further, let me just add here, guys. Don't buy, adopt. Don't adopt in a rush, because those animals are going to be with you for many years if you are a responsible owner. Okay? Don't go there and get an animal just to abandon that animal in a couple months, 4, 5, 6 months. The animal has needs. The animal will need to go to a vet here and there. He needs to take his vaccines here and there. So if you are not financially ready for those minor expenses, then adopting at that moment might not be the right thing for you. You can adopt later on when things get better. But remember and consider the long term. But before we go to you, Majority Leader, let me give a shout out to my best Mexican restaurant that makes my interviews, our interviews, possible. Dos Marias, 200 New Main Street. This is the best place to come, mix and mingle, make new friends, and at the same time, eat some Mexican, delicious Mexican food, I would say the Mexican food here at Dos Marias, it's better than Mexican food in Mexico. I hope I didn't get nobody upset. But that's just my opinion. I love Dos Marias. I love the drinks. I love the friendship that I make here. The karaoke. I never saw you here singing.
Not singing, but I was here.
You know, you've
At
been here.
karaoke.
You've been here. Oh, but you didn't sing?
No, because, you know, we want people to come and stay, right? I don't have the best voice in the world when it comes to singing.
Your voice sounds fine to me.
Thank you.
So let's sing. Maybe me, you, and Brenton can sing for the crowd.
Oh, yes, he
Brenton
does,
and I in the back doing coro, you singing.
His favorite is Whitney Houston.
Oh, yeah?
That's what he does when he comes here. He
Oh,
does
okay.
Whitney Houston.
So,
Yes.
guys, Brenton, when? Next week? Next week on Thursday at 8 o'clock, Brenton is going to be here singing. Tasha and I in the back doing coro,
Yes.
singing together. Guys, it's all about fun. It's all about mix and mingle. It's all about getting to know people. It doesn't matter how your performance is. As long as you have fun, we're good with that. Moving on.
Yes.
Now, what about you, Tasha? Before we go into the legislation, how do you see these things, with animal rights? Now, there is lots of people that they get a little kitten, a little dog, they move in with them, they all love and carry and kisses, all that. 6 months they move out, they leave those animals behind. I had to go and pick up 3 little kittens from somebody who left them behind.
Thank you for the
Okay? How you see it? What do you have to tell those people that are watching us?
Like Kristen said, when you adopt an animal or if you have an animal, it's like a child. I have a grandpuppy. It's my daughter's dog, but it's my grandpuppy, and I love her to death.
Grandpuppy?
Yes, that's my grandpuppy.
First time I heard that.
Yes, she's part of the family.
That's it.
I treat her like a human. She's like one of the family. I take her out with me. She has her little stroller. We dress her up. She's part of my family. So it breaks my heart when I hear people abandon animals or just taking animals for a short period of time because it's the fad. That's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that they have longevity. If you're going to take an animal and give them longevity, they deserve that. An animal will be the most loyal person to you. So when you get an animal, you should give that loyalty back. I have a woman that lives in my building. She's probably watching, Nicole. Tamraz, she is awesome. She takes care of the cats that are abandoned in my area. She's there, she's feeding them. She's out there making sure they have fresh water and things like that. And that is the reason why I actually did one of the pieces of legislation.
But let's not go into it yet. Let's take this opportunity to educate people that think that love for an animal is just
Yes.
go and put them at home.
I have a family member. She has cats. Hi, Blue Bear. Hi, Mickey. And she loves them to death. And that's why I can't understand how you can open your door to someone that is so loyal to you and you be disloyal to an animal or disloyal to anyone at all, whether it be an animal, human being. Why? With all of this that's going on in the world, we should be spreading love. We see so much hate. It's easy to hate. It's harder to love. So that's why I think that's why people just dish out hate. So if we all can come together as one, and not only on this topic, just topics in general, and put more love out in the community, more peace. We may disagree, right? But it's better if we come together. You get more done when you come together. And that's why when Kristen reached out to me and she was frustrated and she felt like nobody listened to her, and I said to her, no, we on the council. We understand where you come from. We have a heart for animals. Our mayor has Lola. She gives out candy to the kids on Halloween. She was dressed up on Halloween last year. Like I said, I have a grandpuppy. We have other people on the council that have animals. Green, his daughter's dog is a rescue dog. So we have people on the council that have animals.
That understand those issues.
Yes, Shanae Williams, she has Zoe. So we do have people on the council that own animals. So we do have a heart for animals. And we wanted to let the city know, we wanted to let Kristen know that we do have a heart for animals. We do care of what your message is. And we want to help you. We want to assist you with your message.
Now, guys, for those that are watching, say, what can I do to help? Well, one of the things you can do right now, immediately, is to share this interview. Post it on your own platforms. Ask your friends to do the same. If you want to reach out to your elected officials, call up and politely ask, listen, we have this issue, what are you doing? What can you do to help with the cause? Just Kristen is not enough. We need maybe 20 Kristens. We need another 20 Tashas, maybe 2.5 Ross, okay? But we need people that care. We need people that put action to their words. Words without actions don't mean a thing. We all are full of good intentions, but good intentions alone takes you nowhere. So support Kristen, support Tasha, myself, by sharing this positive interview to let people know that if you want to own an animal, do it so responsibly.
One other message too, you brought up rescuers. One of the things I really want to address is that, you know, I know sometimes within the rescue community there can be infighting. And that what that does is it breaks apart the issue. I think this happens with any social cause. When you have infighting, it breaks apart the issue, it separates people, and nothing gets accomplished. There are people I like, people I don't like, people that don't like me, people that do like me. Truth be told, we have to put all of that aside. When I had the Animal Rights March, only a handful of people showed up, and guys, it's not for me. I do it because I want our council people to see, hey look, this is an issue that's affecting rescuers out there. There are rescuers out there that have literally made makeshift shelters in their basements. But how do they know this? Do you call them? Do you show up at the Animal Rights March? Do you do the things that need to be done to let them know? And it's not just once. We have to keep doing it over and over and over until we get some movement. And when it's only one person calling and saying, this is my concern, there isn't as much weight as opposed to when 20 people, 30 people, like Ruth says, put our differences aside, come together and say, listen, this is the issue that we're facing. We are facing hundreds of stray cats and kittens. We are facing people that don't have access to low-cost spay-neuter. What can we do? Help us help our community and stop animal abuse and animal abandonment. So I'm asking people to, whatever you can do, you know, contact me on Facebook, contact the Yonkers Low Cost Spay Neuter page, and let's come together. Let's talk with Majority Leader. Let's talk with our council people, and let's get this done.
Now, there is many things that many people can do. Maybe not all people can bring or create a shelter in their basement to bring animals in. Maybe you can do that. Nevertheless, you want to do your part. You want to help. Well, guess what? For people to do things that Kristen and other rescues do, funds are necessary. Maybe you can donate something. Maybe if you don't want to donate in the form of money, maybe you can reach out and say, look, can I buy you a voucher for the dog food, cat food, vet voucher? There is many ways of helping. You know, maybe many of you don't know, but once in a while I go around, I get, pick up animals and deliver them to certain people. And sometimes, look, money's tight on me sometimes, and I cannot buy food for all the animals that I want to. I contacted Kristen. Kristen right away said, no problem. She got me a bag of, actually more than a bag and a can of food for those animals. So perhaps you can do the same. Put actions to your words, and it's a lot that you can do to help those little guys.
Right, and while we're talking about food insecurity for animals, I too assist with feeding animals, feeding Westchester. We usually every couple of months, we do get food in, and I pick it up and we give it to the animal shelter. So those animals that do come into the animal shelter, Feeding Westchester gives us food to donate to the animal shelters. That's how we keep the animal shelter here in Yonkers going. So we give them, and it's not only food, it's accessories. We've given leashes, we've given toys, we've given strollers, we've given all kinds of things. So when people do come in and adopt, and maybe they don't have the things at home, we give them somewhat of a starter kit. So if it's available, you leave with a starter kit.
Probably you did not know this.
I didn't know that.
No,
So
yes.
we can donate to, what is it?
The animal shelter here in Yonkers.
Well, it was
Visual.
but it was the pet pantry or the pantry?
No, Feeding Westchester. We do a food distribution myself and Feed in Westchester through Ridgeway Alliance Church. We do it every Monday. And we do sometimes get a call where we go and they say, oh, we have food that you could come pick up.
Okay.
So we go to Feed in Westchester, and what we do is we bring the food and we bring it to the animal shelter here in Yonkers. It's been posted plenty of times.
Yeah.
And if there's someone that comes in and maybe they adopt later part of the day,
Yeah.
and they don't have the things at home, if we have those things ready for them, they can take it like a little starter kit.
Right.
So your little wee patch, a little food, a little toys,
Yeah.
like those kind of things.
So we can donate that to the Yonkers Animal Shelter.
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
So
And
guys-
Steve Sansone is great with that.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
always there with that. Yes.
So guys, you heard it. If you want to help the animals, let not just wait for somebody from the city hall, councilwoman, councilman to do. There is things that we can do. Of course, it would be much easier if the city hall and our elected officials do something for the hundreds, if not thousands of animals out there. And hopefully they will do. And we're going to go and talk about the legislation that the majority leader has worked on, and has this been implemented?
Yes, this is passed unanimously. It's been in the books before.
So
When it's in session.
let's talk about that for a few minutes.
Yes, so like I said, the animal that was abused in my district, Maximus. I know everybody probably seen that.
Actually, I was the one that broke that with that
That story,
video.
yes, and thank you for that.
Yep.
Because it was because of your swift action with breaking the story and the action of the Yonkers Police Department. And the person that reported that, seeing that, we were able to apprehend that person, get that person charged, and what I did for a follow-up was I initiated a local law here in the city of Yonkers called the Maximus Law. So if anyone that owns an animal here in the city of Yonkers abuses an animal and they are convicted, just like a sexual offender or a sexual predator, they will have to register. So once you abuse an animal in Yonkers, don't think you're going to get away with it, because that's not how that works. This law has safeguarded our animals. And I did that because when I saw what happened to Maximus and how loyal that dog was, after he still was abused, that broke my heart. Because that right there showed me that that dog was loyal. That dog could have bit the person, he could have walked away, but he didn't. He was loyal. And then to not only abuse him outside in the street, to take him in the building and to continuously abuse him afterwards, and you hear the cries and the woes of the dog, that broke my heart. So I leaped into action immediately, and I passed a law called the Maximus Law. He probably doesn't know that a law is named after him and he's very famous. But Maximus, if your owner is out there and you're out there, just know that Yonkers, we love you, and you have a law just for you.
Did you see when I interviewed Maximum
Yes, I did.
at the animal shelter?
Yes.
I interviewed
Yes.
him.
Yes.
He kissed me, he
Yes,
hugged
he
me.
did.
He was such a docile animal.
Yes.
And maybe we should just say, for people that don't know the story behind Maximus, what the story is.
Yeah, just before we go there, let me just address one point here. Yes, it's all nice, Tasha, that there is such a law. But what's next? Does that law, those people that are convicted, do they go on a database? So
Yes.
when I go and buy or try to get a dog from an animal shelter, they go pop it up and see if that name is attached to any animal abuse conviction or not yet?
Yes, no, everything is in here in the law. The district attorney has a certain amount of days to make sure that once this person is convicted, that they go on that list. So we're working in conjunction with our courts here in Yonkers, because it's a local law, and I'm hoping that other municipalities will pick this law up too, to say, look,
Yeah.
if you're abusing an animal in our city, there's no room for you here to own an animal.
Yeah. And guys, remember that police department cannot be everywhere 24/7.
Yes.
So it's your duty. If you see somebody abusing an animal, a person committing a crime, don't just take for granted, well, it's not my job, it's the police department, they should be here. No, sometimes they can be elsewhere.
It takes a
But
village.
it's you, as a citizen, as a resident of Yonkers, that when you see something wrong, some people sometimes they say, yeah, why are you filming and you're not doing something about it? Well, guess what? That film is what helped that guy get convicted. If somebody had just called and there was no proof, no evidence, no visual evidence, that person probably at this time would be still abusing that animal.
Yes.
So do your thing.
And that also helped assist with getting this ordinance in as well. Because if there was no video and you didn't cover the story, there would be no ordinance. So people would still be able to abuse animals here in Yonkers. So because of the swift action of you, the police department, and the people in the area, and our council, myself having boots on the ground and seeing these kind of things, this is when we came into action and said, look, we have to protect our animals that reside here in the city of Yonkers.
But we need heavier laws to deal probably serious consequences, jail time when
Yes.
you're using them.
Yes. Yes.
Just the $50 or $100 or $500 fine is not enough.
Correct.
It's not enough.
Correct.
And the story of Maximus is, what is Maximus' story? It's just for people that don't know.
Do you know?
I only know a little bit about it. I didn't catch all of it. I know that he was severely mistreated and abused.
He was.
Yes,
He
he
was,
was.
and I believe the person had another dog before that died, possibly, probably due to abuse. I don't know.
Right, we don't know that.
But the way I take it is, if that person did what he did to Maximum outside, I can only imagine what happened inside.
I saw the photos, and that was extremely. I mean, my heart. I actually feel that in my body when I see those.
What else, Tasha? What else are you working on?
Well, this is another local law that I passed pertaining to people feeding our animals. So this was a local law that I put in. Like I said, I have a person in my building by the name of Nicole. She's always out and about feeding the animals, and she brought it to my attention that it was very disturbing to her that people were actually contaminating the food.
Yeah.
Like they were actually going and urinating and putting different things in the food that she would put out for the animals.
Tasha, urinating is nothing. There is people that
No.
actually put rat poison
No,
inside.
that's just one of the things.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we noticed. So I said to her, I want to feed the animals. I want you to be able to feed the animals, but I want them to be safe while they're eating, right? So we can't leave this food out overnight. We want it to be out during the day. We want to make sure that the food is, when it's out there, visually people can see it to make sure people don't contaminate the food, because the area that she was leaving it in, once nightfall came, people would go in the corner, they would be drinking, they would urinate, you would see people spitting in the things, and she would come out and all types of night and she would move the things, and that was something that became her little thing. So I said, you know what, I'm going to assist you on that. I'm going to let you be able to put the food out, but we want to make sure that the animal is healthy. So we passed this law where you can put the food out, but we don't want you to leave it out overnight. We don't want different rodents to get in there. We don't want you to be feeding rodents because, Yonkers, we put out hundreds of thousands of dollars to combat our rodent infestation. So leaving the food out, we know is a good cause for the animals, but leaving it out can cause a rodent infestation. So while we want to feed them, we want to also keep our residents safe while they're walking by these canisters of food.
Right.
And also, we want you to put it in the proper canisters when you're feeding them. Some people open up a can and leave it there. I've seen animals get their mouth cut, and if they're a stray animal, they're not going to get any kind of attention. So now the animal's mouth is bleeding, they're out, they could get infection, and it turns into a bigger situation. So we wanted to make sure that while feeding them, that they're safeguarded. So this is just another local ordinance that I put in, that I authored and sponsored, and the council voted on this unanimously for the safeguard.
Now, I don't know if I told you guys this yet, but we are at Dos Marias restaurant, Mexican food, right here in Yonkers, Gary Square, 200 New Main Street. This is the best for Mexican food, a few drinks, making new friends. Personally, I'm more friend, and I think that so do you. So let's not just talk about supporting our local businesses. Let's actually support our local businesses. Let's not just talk about care and love for animals. Let's actually support and care for those animals. And the only way to do that is with our actions, not words. I can say whatever I want, but unless I come to Dos Marias and have some tacos on Taco Tuesday or some Mexican food during the week,
Or some guacamole.
Guacamole,
That's good.
that's your best?
Yes, I love
Right here at the Dos
Yes.
Marias?
Yes.
Guys, come on. Don't take my word for it. I cannot tell you how a strawberry tastes. You have to eat it. So don't take my word for it about Dos Marias. Come on down and let us know what you think about Dos Marias, 200 New Main Street, right here in Yonkers. How was that?
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yes.
So what else?
I'm going to load both of these on the Yonkers Low Cost Spay Neuter Initiative page. The only thing I wanted to ask you, Majority Leader, is where can people go to attend meetings when they want their voices heard? Well, website.
Well, the Yonkers City Council is very transparent. We have a page that every committee meeting, every council meeting, every rules meeting is live. So every Tuesday, the meeting is live. They also post the agendas.
But Tasha, not just every Tuesday it's live, but you can also go in person.
Yes, yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So you can also go in person,
Yeah.
and you can also speak
Yes.
there.
You can sign up to speak at the committee of a whole.
Yeah.
When we have, I was getting to that rule. Can I
Oh,
do
yeah,
my
yeah,
job?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can I do my job?
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna allow me to do my job. So yes. So years ago, it wasn't transparent where, because some people can't get out, they're not mobile. So if you're not mobile, we have it where you could go on the website every Tuesday and you can watch live. Every committee meeting is live, or also you could come in person and sit and listen to the committee meetings. The agendas are always posted, so you'll always know ahead of time what we're gonna have on the council meeting.
What about if I want to speak about something that
Yes.
concerns me?
You
What
can-
is the process?
Okay, the process is you can sign up through the clerk's office if you would like to speak on an item that is on the agenda. You can sign up at the city clerk's office, but we also allow some people may not know or have enough time to go to the clerk's office. So we do allow them when they come in. The city council president always makes it a motion to say, is there anyone in the gallery that would like to speak? Even if there's no scheduled speakers, we always open up the gallery because we want the people in the city of Yonkers to know that our house is your house. Your house is our house. We want you to come in. This is how we're able to do these kind of laws to safeguard the city. If we don't know what you want and you don't come in and you're not boisterous, we don't know what we have to work on. You know, it's always a project. We're not perfect, but I believe since the 4 years that I've been on the council, we've been seeing some progress.
Yep.
We've been getting some things done. We've been allocating monies in certain areas that probably wouldn't be there before. Like you said, you didn't know about our laws about the animals. You thought that we didn't have a heart for animals. And look, majority of us own them, or we have family members that have animals, and we have laws that we put in place and passed unanimously on animals. But if there's something that anybody in the city wants or needs some kind of knowledge on, call us. Let us know. That's what we're here for. That's how we're
But go ahead. I ask her.
So I just wanted everybody, please, again, the rescue community and people even in general. I'm going to post on the, I'll get the exact page. I'm going to post it on the Yonkers Low Cost Spay Neuter page. Please go to these pages or go to the meetings. They don't know. And actually, I want to thank you so much for joining this, Majority Leader. Really, it means so much to me because when you're passionate and when you care so much about other living beings, especially beings that can't defend themselves, and you feel like you're not being heard, it's like, what are we
feel
doing?
frustrated.
Yeah, what are
And
we
I was a
doing?
constituent before. So before I got into this role, I was a constituent.
Yeah.
So when I spoke to you, I said my heart goes out to you because I feel it. It's like when you're a constituent, you feel as if your voice is not being heard. And sometimes people may say, well, this woman is going crazy and she's doing this, but it's not that, it's your passion.
Exactly.
And sometimes we show our passion in different ways.
Right.
Now, Tasha, before we get too much away from the council meetings, what if the person wants to speak about something that is not on the agenda? How can I do that? Let's say I look at the agenda, okay, if I want to speak on that, I want to speak on that. But what about if it's something that I feel it's important to me, but it's not on the agenda? What's the process?
That's when you contact your council person, or you contact me as your majority leader, or you can contact your city council president.
Okay.
That's what we're there for. Like you said, when they come to the meetings, when they speak in the committee of a whole, it's based on the items on the agenda. But in order for us to get items on the agenda, you have to come to us so we know what you want to be on the agenda.
I got you. So guys, I think very often we formulate our opinions based on what we think is going on,
Yes.
not necessarily on what is going on. So the point of interviews like this is to inform you, to let you know, listen, you might not think that we care about that, but we do. And this is what we have done. Or maybe it goes the other way. Well, you care much about this, but you never told us that you cared about that, so we never address it. So if you have an issue that you feel needs to be addressed, contact the majority leaders, contact the council president, and say, listen, there is an issue. My block, maybe 10,000 signatures, we think it's important and needs to be addressed. How can we address it? They cannot address things that they don't know. They represent us.
Yes.
But for her or any council person to represent you, he or she needs to understand what your concerns are.
Yes. Like when Kristen came to me and she had a plan that she wanted to do and bring in a animal shelter here. I advised her and I said, it's a beautiful thing, but we need to put something mobile, right? We need to see how we can get you a 501c3, how you can get integrated into the community so you can be able to get CDG grants and those kind of things. And she didn't know about that.
Are you working on those things?
Well, that's what I wanted to also address. Is this something that, because it's hard, I'm not going to lie to you, it's hard to be a 501c3,
Yes.
to have that responsibility of the funds. Is it something where and I'll bring this to the council too, where we can allocate funds knowing the need is there, and then maybe do partial 501c3, or just allocate funds? Is that something that would be open, that would be?
Well, that's something that you would have to take to planning, because that's who gives out the CDG grants.
Yeah.
But we usually do a match. Sometimes we do a match. So maybe if you need $10,000 and you come up with 5, you match it and you have your 10, or something to that effect. Because when people come and say, do this, do this, do this, do this, right, and they ask for millions of dollars, because I saw her
Proposal.
yes, and her proposals, it's in the millions. Something like that will drive up taxes, will drive up certain things. So my job is to make the city sustainable, but I don't want to drive you out and drive up taxes. We have not broken the tax cap. We haven't done that.
But that's a discussion for another day. Now I think the discussion of today's interview is to create awareness.
Yes.
Ask people out there to get involved. If you feel like it's something it's of concern to you, call the council body, the council president,
Yes.
the council majority leader, explain, articulate, and above all, come to the meeting. That's where your voice is heard loud and clear. On Yonkers West too. But those are the people that actually can take action to make things happen for you, for myself, and for the others.
But
So make sure you participate.
Yeah, no, but I was going to say, it is important. I know maybe for another day, but that is a really important point, because a lot of people do ask me, and not just rescuers, but people that are trying to help animals, is, hey, why isn't the city funding a shelter? Why aren't they doing this?
We do have a city shelter. You
I
do
mean,
have a shelter.
not shelter, a low-cost spay neuter clinic. But that's a really good point, because one of the things, and I really did not know that, because when the proposal that I had is it does take a lot of money, and it will drive up taxes, and that is a big concern. So that now this is something that I want to work on. I want to work on that 501c3. But again, we have to come together. We really do need to support each other. This is just not something I can do on my own. I mean, it's
And I'm willing to work with you as well. Any kind of help you need. We started this.
Yeah.
I'm not the person to start something with you and leave you. I'm here. I'm here for the long haul. Whatever you need, I'm here. And reach out to my office. We need to have more conversations
Yeah,
like this.
absolutely.
You know, Kristen, I've been doing Yonkers Voice for the 17 years, and I get lots of people to jump on to, well, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, yeah. And my question to them is, okay, I might be doing it wrong this way or that way, but I'm making an attempt into doing something. Why don't you tell me what attempts have you made to improve the situation?
Yeah.
And that goes for what you just said. You know, yes, people want to help and get involved. Okay, the little things like come to the march, walk, show the city hall, our elected officials, that the people in Yonkers care about those things. They don't show up. Everyone stays behind waiting for
Yeah.
Kristen to take that step. But then everyone stays back here criticizing this one or that one. Okay? And another thing is people tell you how things should be done without understanding the root problem or the complexity.
Right.
Oh, we need a shelter. We need this. Yes, but you know the consequences of what's involved in making that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to give you the shelter, but are you okay with the tax increase? Oh, hell no.
Right.
Well, guess what? Everything has an invoice.
Yes, it does. We have to pay our city bills.
Exactly.
Yes.
Everything has an invoice.
Right.
Well, ladies, thank you for taking the time. Is there something else that you need to speak? This is it.
No, I just, again, thank you so much, Majority Leader.
Oh,
You
you're
really,
welcome.
you don't know how much it means. And I'm going to take you up on that because this is something that means a great deal to me, that this community and the animals in our community, and seeing people's faces when they do get help with their animals is priceless. And seeing animals being helped, seeing an animal go from the street to a home, which I've done, all my animals are rescues, is priceless. So this is something that I'm going to stick with. I'm going to do it to the very end. I really, really hope that people start to show up and support. And again, it's for the animals. It's not for us humans. It's for the animals, and that's it. And Majority Leader here is amazing to do this. So thank you again. Thank you.
I just want to say,
Go ahead.
this is my job, Kristen. So thank you for allowing me to be in a position to do my job, because that's what it's about. It's about bringing awareness. It's about listening to the facts, listening to the issues, and bringing them abreast and see how we can make it better. So thank you. We talked about the 501c3. We talked about how I'm going to assist you with that. And, you know, this is what it is. She didn't know what she needed to do to take the steps, right? But she came to my office, and we had a nice conversation, and we sat down, and she is actually grasping the concept of how to get things going.
Yep.
Here we are, step one, right?
Step one.
She called me, she called you, step one. Here we are, we're bringing the awareness.
Step
Now, step two is to get this in place so that way we can safeguard these animals here in the city of Yonkers.
Yep.
And that's what our plan is here to do.
Now you have something on your life. If you talk about this again, they're going to ask you, at least I would ask you, okay, Kristen, what have you done? Have you done step one? So get the people that are your friends,
Yep.
that love the animals, see what can be done for us to take that first step.
Yes.
Just you alone.
I can't do it. And on that heels, very quickly, for the 501c3, I need to have officers. So people that want to be a part of this, it's not a paid job, but you know, please contact me and let's start to get this going. This is something that is really important to our community. So.
Guys, thank you for watching. Once again, I'm going to ask you to please share this interview. This is something you can do. And when we share this interview, we create awareness out there. And when you share, they will share and they will share. That's the power of social media. Make your voice heard. Yonkers Voice is not my voice. Yonkers Voice is the platform where your voice is heard. I'm not here to complain. I'm not here to give suggestions. I'm here to create the bridge between community and elected officials. Here, you can ask the questions directly, live, things that maybe in the past you were not able to. But this is not my voice, this is your voice. The platform where your voice can be heard loud and clear. Don't forget to share. Thank you for watching. Thank you always for your support. I know that I cannot keep everybody happy. Hey, but that's okay. I cannot keep everybody happy in my own family. It's only 6 of us. So I'm not doing too bad.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Okay? So thank you guys. Until next time.